to Ask the Patient Advocate podcast, where we will discuss all things related to navigating your health. I am Dr. Elena Borrelli, and I'm so excited to talk about such an important topic of private patient advocacy. Managing your health and navigating the healthcare system is challenging, but it's a lot better when we go through it together. Welcome back to a new episode of Ask the Patient Advocate podcast. Today's episode is all about starting fresh, because as we step into the new year, many people feel that desire to hit reset and finally get their health back on track. The new year brings motivation, hope, and sometimes a little pressure. And for so many people dealing with symptoms, chronic conditions, or even something as overwhelming as cancer, that new year, new you message can feel complicated, which is exactly why we wanted to highlight how powerful it can be to partner with a private patient advocate like ourselves. You don't have to face your healthcare journey alone. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Joining me today is Christine, a member of our team. Hi, Christine. How you doing?
Hi, Dr. Borrelli. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here.
Of course, it's always a pleasure having you.
Yeah, and this is definitely a great episode because I know a lot of people who are facing health challenges would love, this conversation. So, we see people at this time of year who are frustrated, exhausted, or even discouraged with their health, right? So,
Absolutely.
why is the new year such a pivotal moment for reflection?
So the new year feels like a perfect time for a reset because people finally stop and assess what hasn't been working. Maybe symptoms were ignored because life was too busy. Maybe they have been struggling to get answers. Or maybe a chronic condition like diabetes, cancer, or autoimmune diseases hasn't been managed well despite best efforts. So there's a variety of different reasons. The new year reminds us that we deserve better health, and it's a natural moment to make changes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Dr. Borelli. Well, now, why is it so difficult for people to tackle, their health journey on their own?
Because managing a health condition, it isn't just one thing. It's really everything. So it's so difficult and almost impossible, I want to say, to tackle on your own. Navigating appointments, insurance, prior authorizations, conflicting opinions, symptoms, emotional stress, remembering what to ask. It's truly overwhelming. And then when you have one bad experience, it kind of deters you from wanting to keep going, and you kind of fall off track. And that happens to so many people, even people who work in the healthcare system that struggle to navigate the system. And when someone is sick, tired, or scared, that burden becomes almost impossible to carry alone.
Exactly. Now, for people hearing about private patient advocate for the first time, what actually makes a private patient advocate so different and, so valuable?
That's a great question. A private patient advocate brings three major differences. First is expertise. We understand your condition, your symptoms, your medications, and what resources you truly need. The second, I would say, is navigation. A private patient advocate, especially an experienced one, knows how to communicate with providers, secure appointments in a timely manner, coordinate care, and push through all the barriers that we commonly face. Number three, I would say, is support. Many patients feel alone, dismissed, or overwhelmed, and we stand with them emotionally, medically, and logistically. You're no longer fighting for answers alone. And I think, honestly, while each of those points are equally important, I really feel that our clients really appreciate the last one that I mentioned, the support, because going through anything alone is lonely and makes you sad, and just it really kind of takes that motivation away from you. So when you don't have to fight through it alone, it's definitely a game changer.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So let's touch base again on the difference between, a private patient advocate and a patient advocate offered by a health, insurance company, right? Can you tell us the significant difference in it?
Sure. This question, I feel like we answer this all the time, which is, I think it's important to highlight again. So the biggest difference between a private patient advocate versus one that's like complimentary offered by a health insurance company or a healthcare facility is that as a private patient advocate, we work for you and we have your best interest as a very top priority. We're non-biased. We offer a non-biased opinion and assistance. A private patient advocate works directly for you, the patient or family member. Our sole priority is your health, your safety, and making sure that you get the care, the answers, and the support you need. That's why we do this job. On the other hand, a patient advocate that is offered by a healthcare facility or insurance company ultimately works for that employer, of course. So while they can be helpful in certain situations by maybe explaining your policy or guiding you through paperwork, etc., they're not really equipped or have the experience to help you navigate those challenging medical conditions and issues, decisions, etc., not equivalent to the same manner as a private patient advocate can. Nor can they push back against policies within their own companies or denials, etc., because again, they are working under the realm and the constrictions of their employer. So the key difference I like to consider is independence or non-biased approach. A private patient advocate is completely on your side with no conflict of interest and can support you through complex medical decisions, appeals, coordination of care, and so much more. Does that help answer? I think it was kind of a long
It is.
answer.
It is. That's totally right. You work with our clients every day, right? So what does it really mean when we say a private patient advocate stands by your side? So I think this is a significant question.
It means exactly that. We can go to appointments with you virtually, in person. We help you prepare for appointments. We talk to your providers when you feel unheard. We organize your records. We help interpret your results. We review your medical records. We look for errors. We make sure nothing falls through the crack. And emotionally, it means that you always have someone who understands what you're going through. You can ask us questions whenever you want. You're not sitting in a waiting room alone or guessing what to do next or what the next step is. You have support. When you walk out of that office appointment and you're like, what do I do next? Or well, you get this news that you didn't expect, or you get this answer when you're told, yeah, we're really not sure, or we don't know what to do from here. You don't have to feel alone because we're there to figure out that next step with you.
I love that. Well, someone is listening right now thinking, yes, this is the year I need help. What is the first step?
Honestly, just call us. You don't need your records organized. You don't need to have everything figured out first. You don't need a plan. You literally just need to pick up the phone and call us, and we will help you get started. At Pathway Patient Advocates, that's what we're here for. We'll gather your records, we'll create a plan, we'll communicate the care team, and take that burden off of your shoulders. Just call our main phone number. It's 947-517-8395. One phone call can truly be the start of a new year and a new you.
That's totally right. Before we wrap up, here's like a last question for you. Why is the new year the perfect moment to bring in a private patient advocate?
I like to say because momentum is on your side. People feel motivated with the start of something new. Providers return from holiday breaks with fresh new motivation to make a difference in their patients' lives. Insurance plans are renewed, schedules are reset, many new logistics are implemented. It's the ideal moment to start a strong foundation, get ahead of symptoms, and finally get the answers that you've been searching for.
I love that. So, to everyone listening, if this is the year you want to feel better, get clarity and finally feel supported, we're here for you.
Exactly. You don't need to start perfectly. You don't need everything figured out. You just need to start. Thank you, Christine, so much again. It's always a pleasure doing these recordings with you. I love having these conversations, and I really hope that our listeners feel more confident when they listen to our podcast and they're able to navigate their healthcare journey with confidence and hope. Have a great day. If you have a question for Ask the Patient Advocate, email advocate@pathwaypa.com. Managing your health and navigating the healthcare system is challenging, but it's a lot better when we go through it together.